I've been going through a really bad breakup. I suppose there is no such thing as a really good breakup. I go to sleep and I feel like shit. I wake up and I feel like shit. I open YouTube for help and all I see are these videos of shirtless macho men boasting about how breakups are endless motivation to work out for 5 hours a day and how you should not spend more than 2 days bitching and moaning about some girl who left you, and how there will be many more girls begging to be with you once you're rich and famous and muscular. Then there are philosophical videos from bald and ugly Indian gurus wearing orange gowns and giving you vague, meaningless advice. Just breathe and let it go, they say. No one belongs to you in this universe. Breathe out and let go. As if a person is nothing more than just a fart. It sucks because we both probably knew that it was not going to work out from the very start because of our many differences, which probably make us incompatible with each other. But we both decided to take a risk and go on this adventure and see where it would take us. And it has taken me to therapy. I've been feeling miserable lately, and I've never felt lonelier in my life, to be honest. I feel like I lost my best friend as well as my girlfriend, and I feel responsible for not doing more, not trying harder. I feel like I lost the only person I used to share every single trivial little detail of my life with. From photos of what I was cooking to the minutest joys and sorrows of my life. And for a while, my whole life seemed very unreal to me. I was stuck. My days did not begin without her good morning messages, and my nights did not end without a good night. I used to ask her for advice about everything, and now it was so weird because I had broken up with her and I still wanted her to give me advice about how to deal with the breakup. My motivation has nosedived, the spark has left my eye. I'm on a fellowship in a foreign country with no friends, trying to build a career, and losing the person you thought you would build a future with just takes the wind out of your sails. You become unstable and you lose sight of the goal, the purpose. I keep shifting between denial and anger, and I feel this curious, crazy mix of hopelessness and also this general sense of betrayal and abandonment. Sometimes I also feel a sense of peace and calm, just knowing that this is probably better for the long run and we are not both ruining each other's mental health. I feel happy for her, thinking she's feeling lighter now, and I'm still trying to accept that I'm not the right person for her. I know how deeply I care for her, how much affection and warmth I feel for her, how responsible I feel for her happiness and laughter. But I guess with all my pettiness and jealousy and insecurity and my own unhealthy psychological tendencies, I had truly started to make life difficult for her. I hate the thought of her being with someone else, but I'm slowly beginning to accept that maybe she deserves a different kind of love, which fulfills her needs and makes her feel safer and calmer. I try to see things from a more mature perspective. I try to see both of us as human beings who are not defined by just these roles we were playing in the relationship, but as part of something much bigger. But as I sit back to process things, I realize this sense of loneliness and silence and detachment from the world is exactly what I needed. I needed a moment to speak to myself, to ask myself larger and important questions. Why is this breakup hurting me so much? What is this experience trying to teach me? So if you're going through a breakup or have gone through one and have not been able to entirely process it yet, this video is for you. And if she is seeing this, this is for her too. I know she doesn't want to speak to me anymore, and she's probably carrying a lot of that bitterness and resentment for me, or is probably trying to suppress these negative emotions so she doesn't have to face them and can go about her everyday life. But if she is seeing this, I hope she hears this as me speaking to her, and I hope this helps her in some way. The first thing I have realized that you should do is stop taking it personally. How a person reacts to you, to your presence, or to your absence has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Their battles, their histories, their emotions, their coping mechanisms. You learn that you cannot force things. You can only prepare yourself and make yourself ready to accept things when the universe sends them your way. This is all much easier said than done, but it also requires a shitload of courage, patience, maturity, and self-confidence. You need to be secure in your own skin first, and only then can you stop taking everything personally. Second, you should let go of this fixation with the illusion of control. You need to accept that no matter how hard you try, there are just some things you can never really control. Like other people's thoughts, actions, reactions, and this requires a lot of respect for yourself as well as for other people. You give them the space to express their individual self, and you also give yourself the space to be yourself. Third, ask yourself the fundamental questions. What exactly was I chasing in this relationship? What was I looking for? And what is the absence of this person trying to teach me? This answer could be personal and could take a fair bit of digging inside of yourself. I go through plenty of sleepless nights, eyes wide open, crying randomly in sporadic bursts, feeling anxious, my body temperature fluctuating, which my therapist says is a symptom of anxiety, waking up with a cold sweat, seeing her in my dreams, beating myself up, blaming myself for ruining things. I still cannot imagine a future without her in it, and it feels so painful. I cry in the middle of a workout, in the middle of a set, in the middle of a run, in the middle of a movie. And as I slowly started spending time alone in the silence, I figured what exactly I was missing now that she was gone. When I say I miss the love I used to get from her, I'm practically saying that my core issue, which makes me so needy and clingy in a relationship that I will absolutely clutch onto anything, is this basic innate desire for validation. This comes from a deep sense of loneliness and a feeling of unworthiness. I let people trample and walk over all of me just so I can keep them in my life. And this, I have begun to realize, is a very unhealthy dynamic which sets a deeply negative precedent. When I constantly put someone else first, I teach them that I always come second. I prioritize their needs and listen to their stories. I deny my own experiences. I stop being an individual. I stop thinking about my own life and get too absorbed in their story. I try to help them out because I feel this compelling savior complex deep down inside, which forces me to offer them help and emotional support, hoping that then they will need me more. What I really want to feel then is needed. But when I keep pouring from an empty cup, I also give them a wrong impression that I'm absolutely fine and strong and need no help or emotional support myself, when in fact nothing could be farther from the truth. I'm a human being too, with struggles of my own, and just because I never show them does not mean they do not bother me. I have grown up believing that opening up about your struggles is a sign of weakness. I've taught myself to man up and heal myself because being vulnerable to others just exposes me to a world of mockery and judgment. So I had to ask myself, why was I seeking love from a person who I knew was not capable of loving me in a way that I desired to be loved? It was like speaking in Hindi to a person who only spoke Spanish, and then getting upset because they could not understand the depth of your emotions. It was my fault for harboring such unrealistic expectations from someone who I knew could not meet them. Lastly then, forgive yourself. Give yourself time and space to mourn, to grieve the person you thought you would spend your life with but lost somewhere along the way, to grieve the self you thought you could be when you were with them, to grieve the version of a future that will never play out in reality. Then let go of all these possibilities. See this as an experience. You are lucky and privileged to have known another person so deeply. to have spent so much time with another human being, shared so many jokes, so much laughter, created so much joy, felt so many emotions. I will never stop telling everyone that this woman taught me to take care of myself and respect myself. She taught me the importance of skincare and moisturizing and brushing my teeth at night. I quit my addiction to smoking cigarettes for her. And I hope I'm able to honor our love and commitment by never smoking again. I will only be doing myself a favor. So I guess what I'm trying to say is be thankful to them and be grateful to the universe for bringing them your way. It was a matter of chance that you liked each other, that you could grow with them and see each other from such close proximity. Be grateful for the love you could give and receive. And now it is time to let that ship sail away. When you let go of these imagined and impossible possibilities, you create space for other possible versions of the future. Think of it as a blackboard, and in order to scribble something new on it, you have to erase the writing that was there earlier. This does not mean that you will start over anew with a clean slate. Quite the opposite. The writing from earlier will leave behind a palimpsest, a trace, a shadow of the words you wrote earlier. And let that be there. As a lesson, as a learning. Let that teach you the very important and very humbling lesson that you were human. That you trusted and cared and created a beautiful vision of a future which will always linger on, even if it never becomes real. Let it remind you of the infinite potential of creation and recreation and the magical possibility of change and starting over anew. This time you're not starting from scratch but from experience. This time you won't hold airy-fairy, unrealistic expectations or build ideal images of people in your head, but take and accept them for who they are. This will allow you to really accept their limitations and set realistic hopes. But this whole process will hurt. It will feel terrible. You will feel guilty and responsible for all the sadness you caused, both you and your partner. You will feel like shit for letting go, for not saving them or the relationship. But that is the whole point. Other people do not need saving. If they really wanted to reach out, they would. If they needed you, they would make it clear. And the only person you are responsible for saving is you. Every heartbreak is a setback, but every setback is a springboard for a comeback. Let the mysterious path of life guide you forward in your unique journey. Stay curious, stay open to the possibility of anything happening. The universe is magical and full of an infinite array of potentialities. Take things as they come. Accept the good, the bad. No feeling is final, as the Austrian poet Rilke said. Work on yourself. Turn yourself into a secure being that does not need external validation. Prepare yourself to accept love from this bountiful universe, from nature, from the sun, from grass. Set your standards. Ask yourself what you need from yourself and others. Only then will you be able to really build a real relationship. You will not chase people out of a sense of loneliness and a craving for validation, but because you genuinely wish to connect with them and wish to share some precious part of your human existence with them. So I guess the only way to move on from the past is to let go of any visions of the future and to root yourself in the present. I guess there is no such thing as moving on from love. I guess there is no way to unlove a person or to start over as if nothing has changed. If this video helped you in any way, please like, share, comment, subscribe. That will give me the motivation I need to speak to more people, to share my experiences, my analysis of experiences in life, because I know a lot of people are going through similar stuff that they find no respite from. And I know that because I wish I had a video like this to listen to during the first few days after my breakup. And I know it fucking sucks right now, but I promise you're gonna get through it and you're gonna feel so much lighter, so much more peaceful once you reach the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sending you all of my love, care, warmth, and affection. Stay hopeful. Stay real.